Hi Blankers, it's Phil here. Just a quick message to inform you that this episode was our first one returning after a little time off. We're on season 3 now, which is we're going on to the 1980s. But where we had so much time off, we've come back to the studio and we realised that we had so much to talk about. We all, like 3 little children, got very excited and we rambled on for quite a long time. So this is quite a lengthy episode. So what we've decided to do is split this episode into 2 parts. So halfway through this, you'll probably get another message from me telling you that this is the end of this episode. And well, I hope you enjoy it anyway. Take care. Bye.
Holy shitballs. Hey Space Cadets and Airheads, welcome to Season 3 of Not 40 Just Blank. It's a radical and righteous podcast in which each episode we take you back to the bodacious 1980s, looking back at news, TV, sports, film and music of a single year of that bitchin' decade. It sounds mega. So come and join us on our latest gnarly journey, dudes, as we head back to the 80s, the decade that fashion forgot, right here on Not 40 Just Blank. Hello to all you delicious devils and welcome to a brand spanking new season of Not 40 Just Blank. It's bloody good to be with you once again and we're looking forward to taking a trip back in time, our furthest one yet, to the decade that taste seemingly forgot. That's right, we're heading back to the jolly old 1980s. And I'm totally out of my depth doing this alone, so thank God, here comes the cavalry. It's Phil and Del. Good evening, my darlings.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Lovely to see you back here in the 80s, Del, fetching leg warmers, looking sexy as hell.
Playing with my Rubik's Cube.
Why would you not? New name for your testicles. Trap them in the door again.
Oh, mate.
Abnormal shapes.
See you playing with Simon over there.
Simon says, play with me. So who am I to begrudging that?
Mate, you do it.
It's an absolute delight. Are we ready to do this little delve into the 80s?
Yeah.
I'm scared. Who knows what we're going to find?
Actually. I quite like it. I love the 80s.
It's one of those like really retro-y.
I think our research is going to have to be better.
Yeah, we might actually have to do something.
Yeah, because you have to rely on it.
Yeah, because we haven't got like the actual memories. Because we were like, what were we, 2 when the decade starts?
Yeah,
so, like,
it's been sort of tough but fun at the minute.
Well, yeah, so no personal memories, essentially.
No personal memories, but I was going to say to you, I saw an 80s legend on Wednesday.
Hold tight, this is a great segue already. Who did we see?
I saw Willie Potion, Billy Ocean.
Oh, Billy Ocean? He wasn't down the dog track again, was he? I thought he
was,
cured his gambling issues.
No, he cuts my lawn.
Does he really? That's what he's now doing. He's no longer getting kids into cars. He's cutting your lawn.
He does. He gets them into the cars and then he pays them like £10 like, just to trim the hedges.
Just to trim the hedges. Oh, nice. How was old Billy?
He was really good, actually. He was
still
really
knocking out the tunes?
Yeah, for like I said to you, a man who's like sort of the equivalent of like one of our dads, sort of like one of our dads, as in like one of our mates' dads or whatever. He was like absolutely amazing, and he's like really sort of, even his sweet feet that he's got, he's still got the tones as well. Absolutely amazing. The only thing was some of the people watching him were basically football fans. And when he was, so he was trying to do a bit of sort of like talking in between each song, and it was people just go, "Play Caribbean Queen, like go against Tough," and he was just like this sweet. He's like, he's quite religious.
They weren't singing like "You're getting sacked in the morning" or something.
No, he might as well. Talking about his lawnmower.
Yeah.
There's another Luther Vandross. Oh no, he's not alive, is he? I'm trying to think of another sort of competitive
Solly Ledge.
Who could compete him out on the grass cutting sort of circuit.
Who else would be knocking out grass cutting?
Soul grass cutting. Terence Trent D'Arby?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a little bit of that.
Maybe Benson.
Might be doing it.
Who was it? Benson? Is it someone?
George Benson.
George Benson, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or do you mean Benson and Hedges?
Yeah, both big in the 80s.
Massive in the 80s, weren't they? Benson and Hedges.
Benson and Hedges, yeah. I'd like, and Benson and Hedges, because Hedges, obviously, that's with the cutting of the lawns. That's like,
there you go then. That's what his company was called.
That's the
Benson and Hedges.
George Benson and Hedges.
George Benson and Hedges. I can't even say it. But, oh, mate. Yeah, it's our bitter rivals, them two.
Very much so.
Well, you see Billy Ocean now, he's completely grey, and it's from them times.
It's stress. Stress from being undercut by George Benson.
Yeah, it happens. It's like mafia sort of terms. There's like, you're on someone's pitch, you just,
That's it.
People, turf wars, big time. Literally,
Massive turf wars. That's got to be the album.
It's got to be. And it's,
Can you imagine that? Billy Ocean, turf wars.
Turf wars. Oh, mate.
Right. Get out of my car, get the lawnmower out the boot, start cutting. Off we go. Wow, that's a lovely little start to the 80s. Was he around at the start of the decade?
Yeah, he would have been with Love Really Hurts. I think Love Really Hurts was 78, actually.
Blimey.
Yeah, and it was Romance in the Stone would have been like 84, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it must have been.
Knocking stuff out all the way through. Well,
I think Red Light Spells Danger as well. Or I think that was quite early as well.
Well, there's every chance that we might be seeing Mr. Ocean again during the next few
it
episodes
might be,
in that case. All right, well, shall we take a dip into what was happening in the world back in 1980?
All I was going to say, Jim, before we start, did you want to do a beatbox?
Do I?
Yeah.
I mean, the only way that you can beatbox, as we all know, is by saying boots and cats.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So, I mean, I can. What if I put down a sick beat? Are you going to? You're going to put some lyrics over the top.
A little bit of a beatbox, do you think? Phil?
Boots and
Cats.
What do you mean? Cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots.
So you got to do.
Yeah.
Boots and cats it.
And you can throw in your little. You can do a little sort of thing to it. Yeah.
Go on.
What
Come,
have you
Phil.
got?
You know what you've got. You are the.
Have I got to say cats and boots as well?
No. You can say
You
cats
gotta
and
say
boots. Boots and cats.
Boots and cats.
And then we can play around with it.
Let's have it.
And I go.
Boots, cats, boots and cats, boots and cats.
Ooh. That just went through my soul. That was emotional.
What was that?
What was what?
That noise.
What was that? That was my heart stopping momentarily and restarting.
That's
it was emotional.
I feel that we got it out of our system.
It was sexual.
Yeah, I think.
I think.
I didn't know.
I was worried about.
Phil looked really scared. So he didn't know what the fuck was happening. Why are you asking me to talk about?
I didn't know if we was building for sake or we were just doing all that the whole time through. I was waiting for.
Sorry. I just had a little bit of a beatbox moment.
Dale loves to beatbox whenever possible.
I do it badly, but I like to do it.
Well, I thought that sounded, to the untrained ear, Dale, that sounded impeccable.
Maybe we can build on it every episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, by the end of it.
By the end of it.
Who knows what we
we'll
like?
Boom.
Christ will be, I don't know. Who's
Won't
a
be that good.
beatboxer?
We'll have Christ. We'll have
found Christ.
He would have come
Through
back.
beatboxing.
He'd have resurrected.
Yeah,
and
be
come
like, shut the fuck up, you lot.
the first thing he does when he comes back is just like, Jesus, what are you going to do first? I'm going to sing a not 40 point beatbox.
Yeah, I'm going to join
That's
them
where I'm going.
for a mad jam session. There'll be me, there'll be Scroobius Pip, and there'll be, who knows?
2,000 years you've gone away.
What's happened? Just these three guys.
That's what's happened.
Burning up
My
the
new
charts.
disciples.
Wow. I don't think Jesus was quite as prevalent as Maggie Thatcher in the 80s. Do you see what I did there with a little swerve into the news? Do you see what I did?
Did. That's good.
Yeah. 1980, second year of Maggie's reign of terror.
Was she snatching was she snatching
snatch?
Thatches or Thatches and snatches?
She was throwing punches in bunches. That's what she was doing. She was taking on the steel workers and the miners.
She wasn't stealing milk. That
might have been a little bit later in the tenure, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, she was taking on. This is when she makes her famous "the lady's not for turning" nonsense speech. She was like, everything she was doing was essentially getting the country worse and worse off. But she was like, nope, we're carrying on as we are. Let's see how it turns out.
Do you reckon she used that phrase with Dennis in bed as well?
Oh no, she was always for turning.
Yeah.
When did Major take over? Was he
Maggie
90?
loved it. 94, I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
92 or 94. She did about 12 years, didn't she?
Did she really do that long?
Yeah, you had the battles of Kinnock and all that.
Was she really that long?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Went all the way through
Lion
the 80s.
lady.
But yeah, she was not for turning, which is why she failed her driving test at least 19 times, I think. Was not for turning.
She was the daughter of a greengrocer as well, wasn't she?
She was. Well, do you think she would have looked after the old working classes a bit better? But there we go.
She's a daughter of a broccoli. Dad was a giant broccoli.
King Edward, maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows? She's royalty. What else do we know about...
Just trying to do legitimate speeches. And Dad comes out as a potato.
Dad, you're embarrassing me. But she was a chip off the old block. Aye, thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is terrible business. All right, what else have we got newsworthy that was happening back in the 80? I'm calling it the 80. The 1980. I can tell you, Alton Towers opened.
Oh, really?
Did it really?
1980.
Wow.
Blimey.
It's been going away, and I'm fairly sure some of those rides have probably been going.
Yeah. How many
since
rides
that
did it
time.
have? I'd be interested to know.
It was just the car park.
Yeah.
When it first opened, just a car park. I don't know. I didn't go that far with my research. You've already helped me out.
Didn't they have the garden centre before?
They did indeed.
Yeah,
They had it on the
they
A127, and then they moved further up north to Staffordshire. It was quite the way to go and get your.
It's getting loads of weird requests about roller coasters, and then just
Yeah,
thought, oh,
yeah. What are you talking about?
there's something in this.
This is Basildon. What are you talking about?
Moved to Stoke.
It's been going an absolute bloody age.
Probably one of the best ones, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's still right up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the best we've got,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I would have thought.
I think that Thorpe Park, and I think that's it, isn't it? Really?
There's not a lot, is there?
Chessington,
Bit of Paultons and
Chessington.
Chessington.
Alton's got to be, yeah. I mean, I think, is it only that good because we don't go there often, though, maybe?
Probably.
I think it's actually
Absence
a bit
makes the
more
heart
to
grow
it than
fonder.
It probably
like,
is.
Yeah, actually
Last time I
hotels-
went was about 20 years ago, so.
It can't be that good then.
Nah, exactly.
We'd be smirching Alton Towers. Fuck it. Fuck Alton Towers.
Adventure
That's
Island
what
all
we're
the
saying.
way.
Yes,
Yeah,
keep it local. keep your entertainment local and your thugs even closer. What else do we know about 1980 then, gentlemen? Tell me some stuff.
How about this? This amazed,
gonna blow my
This
mind?
amazed me. A record 350 million people worldwide watch TV's Dallas to find out who shot JR.
Yeah.
Really?
350 million.
They kept
crazy.
it going, didn't
Crazy.
they?
Hell.
'Cause
That's
something-
Wow.
ridiculous, isn't it?
I had
Yeah,
that
'cause
down somewhere. It
I
was,
think it's still a record. I'm not sure.
I reckon you even had the like.
So, yeah.
Like
the episode went out in May.
Weren't there like the
then they
Soviets fighting
revealed
the
it.
Taliban, and even they stopped for it?
They all
Wow.
stopped. Everybody stops. But yeah, they kept it going for 6 months of people waiting until they released the next series.
Really?
Whereas now it's
350
like,
million.
download it all.
Yeah, of course,
Download it, get your instant
Well,
fix
back
today.
then as well, this is when you could actually keep a secret, couldn't you? You can't
Yeah.
really have that anymore, can you?
No,
Not
but it's harder
anymore.
with social media now,
Social
isn't it?
media,
Yeah,
the
but-
whole shit. Well, there's only 3 channels as well, so that's why there was so many people watching.
But that is a ridiculous number, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I thought it was later than that because I always remember thinking I'd saw that. I couldn't have done it too.
2 years of age and you were already into Dallas.
But I'm sure I remember seeing, unless you just like
Yeah.
old clips of it, you must
Yeah.
have been.
Right.
Yeah, it was repeated.
Yeah, I
So
thought it was
I-
like mid 80s or
I
something.
know
like
about
that.
like World War II, and I wasn't around for that.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's how it works.
Same
I think.
sort of thing.
I think that's how history works.
No, but I don't know. They might have done like redone
Yeah,
the
I'm
story.
sure they
There was one
probably
with
did.
Bobby when he was dreaming for like. He turned out he
disappeared
was in
in
the
the
shower
shower.
and he was
Yeah.
dreaming for about 3 years, wasn't he?
That's right.
So,
Yeah. Ludicrous nonsense.
Was he that big a character, Bobby?
yeah, I think so.
He was the brother of
JR, wasn't
JR,
he?
wasn't he? Yeah, they're all Ewings, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Because then there was that spin-off was Knots Landing, wasn't it? I think, and that was
Is
in,
that what-
like,
was that a
daytime.
spin-off?
spin-off of
Oh,
that.
okay.
And that was, I think, started this year as well.
Yeah, that was.
So
cool.
I remember
yeah.
that. That was like when you were off sick from school.
Yeah.
Like, you had like a bit of, I don't know, something, sons and daughters, something horrific.
that's
right.
And it was like
Sons
Knots
and
Landing
Daughters?
for a bit of sauce.
Sons and Daughters,
Daytime.
like Australia had about 10 actors and actresses.
They
didn't
mean everything.
They did
Yeah.
every
the
Australian
Sullivans as well.
Sullivans,
there was
that
all
was the
yeah.
other one. Yeah.
Yeah, Sons and Daughters, Cell Block H as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was
but all essentially the same 11 people.
Yeah,
Just
they all
different-
showed up in
different
Neighbours
outfits.
later on and Home and Away later on, didn't they?
Quite so. Yeah. What else do we know about the 1980?
I've got weird stuff, so.
Oh, okay.
guys
So
wanna-
it's me
I've
and you
got
then,
Pac-Man
Phil.
is released.
Was he really?
Pac-Man was released in
See, now, I
1980.
thought that would have been like late 70s.
1980 it was in
That
Japan
was-
first, and I think in America a couple of months later. But yeah,
That was one of the iconic games, wasn't it? Obviously,
Oh, God,
Space Invaders kicked it off, didn't it? And then
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Yeah,
and-
1980 was the start of the
Remember.
decade.
So it would have been like a arcade game rather
Yeah.
than a
Yeah.
console
Yeah,
type
oh
thing,
man,
wouldn't
I
it?
remember that up at swimming. That was the thing when you had a Pac-Man there, or you had a whatever, you'd be there for ages.
Yeah,
getting someone
it's
to
such an
have that.
iconic game, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
massively,
still
yeah.
today. You
So
know?
Yeah,
simple,
it's still
but
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
genius,
Yeah, simple, holds up. So all the,
Talking
all
of
the good
games, Rubik's Cube was released as well.
Oh, what Dale calls his testicles.
Yeah.
Exactly, mate. Yeah,
was
So- Pubic.
I've got a couple.
Cubes, massive in the 80s.
Massive, yeah, or whatever.
Massive in the 80s.
I've got a couple more, but I'm guessing you're going to have them. So I'll let you.
I might have a couple of interesting ones. I've got Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah.
Still ripping it up. He was at large. Killed
Rip.
13. Very busy boy.
Wow, he did. But he made great puddings.
He did. That was the thing. That's why he got away with it for so long.
That's why. Yeah,
People just forgave him because of the puddings.
Great pudding. He made the massive Yorkshire puddings,
Enormous
as well.
ones. Yeah,
the ones where
Why'd you go
put them
swimming?
Yeah, exactly.
Pop-up pies.
Just before the detectives and that were about to bust him.
Push a couple of people
You
in.
can do, but I've just made this.
Yeah.
I've pre-done this
Look at the size of
massive
this.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, come on. Can you come back in half hour?
Oh, all right then, Peter.
Exactly.
Go on then. We're being a bit harsh on you. Go on, mate.
Exactly. Anyone that's that good with flour and milk, how can we?
Exactly,
how can we really take him in? I'll tell you what else happened. John Lennon
Yeah.
shot and killed in New York City.
It was, wasn't he, by Lee Chapman.
Just before he started playing for Leeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it Mark? Yeah, Mark Chapman.
Mark
Wasn't
Chapman.
it?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Realise that.
That
Have you
was
been-
like he was like a obsessive fan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's outside his apartment as well, isn't it?
Yeah, literally on the steps, sort of,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. You into New York, you guys? And seen like the Strawberry Fields thing
No.
in
Oh, okay, no.
Central Park? It's all quite emotional.
I thought you said that, am I into New York?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what's he mean by that?
Massively.
Are you into New
Phil's
York?
wearing an A's cap. He's got an I Love New York t-shirt on.
Yeah,
He's got a
A's
hot dog and
hat on.
mustard.
He's so American,
Yeah.
isn't he? It's unbelievable. Just he's going, guys,
What's he mean, am I into New York?
He's got a Statue of Liberty on his jeans.
It's exactly. Oh, is that what that was? Sorry, I
No, it's a
misunderstood what that
massive
was.
erection. So
That's exactly where it is.
it's a boner.
It's a boner. Massive in the 80s as well.
Massive.
Boners, weren't
Boners
they?
were massive in
Absolutely.
the 80s.
See what else was massive in 1980? The Iranian embassy siege.
Yeah, that was the other thing I
that
had.
one.
Again, that was
Mental,
broadcast
wasn't it?
live on TV, wasn't it?
I know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Literally, like people, the SAS going in through windows and pulling out dead hostages and stuff.
Yeah, it was
Terrific.
It was a bit much.
It's like, oh my God, should we cut to the news? Let's
mate.
not. It's ghastly.
Yeah.
Come on, want to find out who shot JR, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. I think it was one of the SAS boys that were a bit gun happy.
Mate, nowadays it would probably be on blooming Sky. Sky would get hold of
Oh,
it.
rolling
wouldn't it?
news, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this was like prime time
Yeah.
BBC and ITV the lot, wasn't it? Madness. I'll tell you what wasn't on prime time telly.
What's that?
West Ham winning the FA Cup.
Oh, really?
No.
1980.
Oh, we're clever Trevor.
Little clever Trevor Brookin beating
Yeah.
Arsenal, no less.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
And you guys were second division at the time.
Yeah, still to this day,
that
the only team
last-
to, like, the last team to win the FA Cup outside top
From
flight.
a lower league, yeah. Madness.
Wow. Are we really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
40,
It was the last thing we won
43
as
years.
well.
I think it was, yeah.
less to boast about. The last thing we won.
but still
what,
a
you're,
thing.
you're saying to me that time we won the Intertoto Cup?
Yeah,
That
well,
wasn't as
Doesn't
emotional.
count, apparently, in Phil's world.
no.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Liverpool winning the first division as it was back then. Obviously, Premier League. Just
Yeah.
a distant idea in someone's
it's a different
grubby
yeah.
mix.
Seems light years away. That did
Very much.
Yeah.
Like the
So-
12th time, wasn't it? I think or something.
That's
like
exactly what it was. And then Forest won the European Cup for the second straight year.
Yeah, it's like
When Forest were good.
Yeah, really good they were. Yeah, 2 years on the bounce, wasn't it?
2 years on the
Yeah.
bounce, exactly that. But yeah, just that there was a lot of either there was a lot of strikes going on, or there was a lot of shootings going on. Basically,
that. Yeah.
start of most decades it seems. I'm pretty sure we said that about the 90s as well, didn't we? And probably the noughties.
Every year, I think we say.
That's
Yeah.
all you really find out about, innit? Shootings and
Yeah.
shootings and striking.
Not much to talk about otherwise, is there?
Not really, as far as I can work out. It was a quiet start to the decades. They'd got rid of punk, and it was
Yeah.
all just all the start of sort of weird, different forays into music. So
I don't know. I think punk.
New
I
Year,
think
new decade,
punk
isn't it?
was still here at this time. I think
It was
Yeah,
kind of
you
floating
still had
around
your
in the
Clash.
background,
You
wasn't
still
it was.
had
It was
your,
start. It's like any decade.
still had your
90s was the same,
Chipmunks
wasn't
as
it?
well, Phil.
90s was the same. You still had that 80s thing, and then about
Yeah, the
91,
hangover.
92, when it
Sort of
starts
clears
changing a
through,
little bit.
doesn't it? Yeah, you're right.
So I think you find that with every decade, and it kind of rolls over a
Yeah,
little bit.
right.
Doesn't it?
Ramones and stuff like that was still flying around, and then it was just taken off. Yeah, the Clash was still about, and then the Police and all that sort of stuff. You still had that feel, but like you say, it was sort of moving in a different to new wavy type music, wasn't it?
Start of a new decade, no things to examine. Wonder what was new on TV
Oh,
back then.
did you not want to hear the weird news?
Oh, fuck a doodle do. I tell you what,
I've got weird news and records before you
we've
go
been-
off with
So
TV, young man.
You're like Segway heavy.
I'll tell you what it is. I've been out of the loop for 3 weeks now. I've
Been out of
missed
the game.
it. I've missed it, and I'm eager to get going. But you're absolutely right, Dale.
Right.
Let's do some.
Well, this is weird
shit.
news,
I
but
like
you
to
probably
mix up
would have
and relax.
you
So is
probably-
this weird news from then, or is this just weird
No,
news?
it's weird
generally?
news. It's weird news from then, and you probably would have heard from about the first one. Actually.
Okay.
Weird news. Ozzy Osbourne.
Weird
bites-
80s news.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne, you heard about him? He bites off the
The head of the bat.
Yeah. It's actually a fan tossed a live bat onto the stage.
Yes.
He actually thought it was a fake
like a fake
bat,
one, yeah.
but bites its head off,
Gives it the big
and
one.
spits it out, then realises it's fucking live, and then he has to have a rabies shot.
Wasn't at that point.
No, not at all. And it's got on here that Ozzy is quoted saying it felt like having golf balls injected into his arse. That's like a rabies shot, apparently.
Jesus.
So yeah, so
Mate,
try and.
I think they were doing it wrong.
So you heard about this one, but you haven't heard Leonardo da Toenail, have you?
Leonardo da Toenail?
No.
I have not heard of Leonardo da Toenail. What did he do?
So this is about a creepy guy who used to go into universities in Southern California and paint female students' toenails whilst they were studying, basically. And he was getting away with it to obviously a few people.
What do you mean get away? What I didn't realise.
He would secretly
So
do.
they
He had
wear
like
open-toed
he had a
shoes,
fetish about it.
And he's just painting their toenails while they're studying.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
How do you not notice that?
Well, like, obviously a few people did. There was complaints, and police caught him with 15 bottles of fingernail polish on him.
I mean,
You
why
don't
is he
wanna be
using
called
fingernail
Sure.
for the toes?
I
Rookie
don't
error
know.
straight away, isn't it?
Well, there you go.
You wouldn't be doing that.
No.
But apparently he was unable to stop him because he was caught following year doing exactly the same thing.
Bloody hell.
So,
So
yeah,
he didn't learn his lesson.
Didn't learn his lesson at all, mate.
Naughty
So,
to
yeah, it's a bit weird. Then we go on to bulletproof wheat, if that means anything. to you.
Bulletproof
Do you want to guess what bulletproof wheat could be possibly about?
Bulletproof wheat. Maybe they made something out of the husks. Oh, I don't know.
I ain't got a clue.
It's literally what it is. Bulletproof wheat. This researcher, Larry Rogers, announced he stumbled on a mixture of bacteria and grain wastes that could make wheat bulletproof. His wife caught him firing an M16 rifle into hardened wheat, which said it was embarrassing explaining it to the neighbours. Apparently, the wheat was also a serious building material and also used for tasty noodles as well. So there you go. So
But you don't hear about it anymore, do you?
No, as I say,
Didn't catch on.
was he just nuts, or was it actually true?
No, it's true. I think
nuts,
he
he
was
was weak.
literally. He was. I think he was like a researcher, scientist type thing. He was actually trying to do something with. But yeah, it's a bizarre thing to do because, like you say, it's a bit
It's
pointless.
like a happy coincidence.
yeah,
almost,
it's like
yeah.
unless
How random.
yeah, but
Well,
it's in America.
I
So
wonder if he made his fortune from it. Put it this way, we're not building houses out of wheat anymore.
Well,
are
he's
we?
made it
So
onto the pod.
He's made
more.
his
Or,
absolute
you know,
fortune. And
what
that's-
more do you want?
I don't know if I'm saying the next one. This is the final bit of weird news for this year. A papal miracle. Basically,
a papal miracle, as in the Pope.
yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah. Is that right?
Papal, yeah.
Okay, cool. No worries. Oh, bonus. Tick box.
Tick, tick, tick.
After being brought forward to see the Pope, John Paul II, Jan Larvik was wheeled back. Wheeled back. Sorry, I'm fucking this up. He was.
I'm fucking up.
He was putting. Sorry, he sat down into a wheelchair and he was wheeled forward by the Swiss Guard.
Right.
And he saw the.
So he could stand before.
Well, this is the thing. So no one knew about it, and when he saw the Pope, like the Pope did his whole sort of miracle blessing.
Oh, I see. So he's basically trying to.
Then he got up afterwards, and the crowd gasped, but he was basically embarrassed because he said that when he was there, he was in the Vatican's audience chamber. He said the only chair that was left was the wheelchair, so he just sat down.
He sat down sort of absent-mindedly.
Yeah,
and they
and the
wheeled him in
Swiss
front
guard,
of the Pope,
Swiss guard
thinking,
literally
"We'll
wheeled
have
him
you."
there.
Oh, and
wheeled
then
him
he
in front.
stood
Get you in front of the Pope.
so, okay.
Bless you, my child. Get up and walk. I can. I'm just
Yeah,
going for a piss.
and it obviously went down a bit.
Shit.
He didn't want to, but yes, that is that for that. But
Silly
I've got some
chap,
weird
like.
records for you.
Records.
Record breakers. No, we can't do that one.
Records.
With records
Between Jim and Bill.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
more like it.
Yeah.
We'll work on that one. That's a work in progress.
Right, we start off it's like not really that weird, but we start off quite sort of small, and we'll build up.
Oh, good.
What
That's threatening, isn't it?
Okay, what is the longest time that someone has ever held their breath?
It's going to have to be one of those like free divers or something.
It's
isn't
in minutes. It's not a free diver, actually.
So they can do it for quite a while. And they're swimming as well, so you'd think it's going to be longer than
It's
that.
in minutes.
I mean,
I'll actually do the scores this time, guys.
Are you actually going to put?
Yeah,
I
I remember from the other. I don't know where I was in the other episode.
rather than Phil's winning 2-1. It's literally a 3-3 draw. All right, I will start the proceedings then. I'm going to say 18 minutes.
Okay, 18 minutes. What are you saying, Phil? What are you saying?
It is a long
What are you
time,
saying?
but I'm starting to think that it's actually longer than that. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm giving you.
Don't they do this thing where you can go into some certain state, can't you? You can put your body
you
into a
die.
state of...
Yeah, death, it's called.
Rigor mortis.
But I can't remember how long it's for. That seems long, 18 minutes.
It does seem a ridiculously long time, doesn't it? Now I've said it out loud.
I mean, surely you go brain dead, didn't you, after like...
well, no, because you've still got the oxygen. That's when you're starved of oxygen. You've still got the oxygen in your body. You're just dripping it over a long period of time, aren't you? I don't know why I'm giving you all this information.
Sally, I think.
Fucking 20 seconds.
Come on.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. It was 24 minutes. So
Holy
Jim
mackerel.
takes the point.
That's an entire episode of Friends.
It
They
is.
held their breath for.
That's
Right.
ridiculous. Isn't
That is ludicrous.
Let's move up a next notch, guys. What was
off.
the world's tallest cow?
The world's
it?
tallest
What, on all
cow.
fours, or...
No, in a plane.
Did it like
From hoof to withers.
jump up?
It's on the skateboard. From hoof to withers.
From hoof to withers.
Tallest cow.
So in,
It's an
and what's
average
this
one.
in?
An average
Feet?
It's in centimetres.
In centimetres.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's an average one like that?
Like that? Yeah.
So what's that like?
Centimetres.
Just over a metre?
You can give it to me in centimetres
head, I
or
suppose.
inches. I'll take
Centimetres
centimetres
or
or
okay.
inches.
With the head as well.
How, what's he going?
2 meters. Centimeters or inches, yeah?
Yeah, either or.
It's going to be... That's a normal one, roughly. So it's going to be bigger one. It's got to be
Here he goes. Look at him. He's now... I'm going to
300 centimetres.
300 centimetres. Okay.
3 metres.
Yeah,
Okay.
To the shot. That seems pretty hefty.
it does, but it's got...
It's like Alan Partridge, isn't it?
With your enormous chickens in these barns.
Beef burgers
big.
to the Swans.
3 metres. I reckon that's not far off, you know. I'm going to go slightly bigger than that. I don't know why, because that seems enormous. 3 metres, 20 centimetres.
Right, so it's 190 centimetres.
Oh, shit.
really?
Well, Phil wins
Yeah.
it, but we're
So-
both miles away.
There you go.
Why
So-
did I agree with you and then go, actually, even bigger than that?
So it's 1-1. So next, guys, what's the heaviest train pulled by a beard? What are you saying?
Heaviest train.
Heaviest
Heaviest
train.
train pulled by a beard.
What's it in
Tons,
kilograms?
Kilos?
So it's in kg, kilos, yeah.
Jeez.
And yeah, you can get a bonus point if you tell me how far it's pulled either, as well.
Oh, I reckon
By a beard.
by a
by a
beard.
beard.
I reckon you've got
Beard,
to get it
beard.
going. I reckon he pulled it 20 metres,
Okay.
and I think it was 5,000 kilograms.
Okay.
That's right, I'm going with 5 tons.
Right, okay.
Mental.
Do, 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 do. Ba,
Yeah.
ba, 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 ba. Cha, cha, cha,
I
cha,
don't think it's 20 metres. I think it's 9 metres. He pulled it.
Okay.
I think that's got a lot of strain on the beard, isn't it? 5,000 kilograms.
That's what I've said, and I'm standing
I
by
don't
it.
think it's that much.
Bow, bow.
I'm going to go 4,000.
Okay. It was 2,753 kilograms.
So you get it on the weight.
And it was 10 metres.
Oh, he gets it, definitely.
You
Sir
get,
Reynolds.
I think you'll get the double. I think you'll get the bonus as well, mate. Cause you, I
the
think
bonus
so,
point
yeah,
for an
because it was that
incorrect
close.
guess.
You was
Only a metre out.
Metre out.
He
so
was
I think-
10% off.
Well, there's still some time, Jimmy. There's still some
Oh, I
time.
tell you, your wiggle room,
What's the
the
score?
definition of
3-1 to Phil.
absolute horseshit.
score? What's the score?
Jimmy, what's the score? Longest ever stand-up comedy gig. What do you reckon it was? By David Scott.
This is all you, Reynolds. This is all you.
Just give it to me in hours. Give it
6
to me.
hours.
Okay.
Oh, God, no, longer than that. Someone's going to do is ridiculous. At least 10.
Okay. Well, Jim's got it straight away. It was 40 hours.
Oh, fuck that.
So, Well, that's a
Wallop.
tough
Was I
year.
close enough to get a bonus point there, Del? I said 10, it was 40.
If
do I
you
get the
give me the
bonus?
minutes,
Don't be facetious, Jimmy.
17.
7 or 8 minutes. If you'd have been a bit closer.
Okay,
Okay,
Oh,
right.
I'll just take a single point for that.
Friend of the show who's been on here before, talk in this weird records thing.
The Pope.
Not the Pope,
Oh,
but
Michael
the,
Jackson.
the strangest ever diet from Michael Lotito.
Oh, the guy that eats glass and bikes and stuff.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can either guess some of the things that are on here, or I can
Just random weird stuff that he's eating.
yeah, or basically it's probably easier if I read them off and then you tell me how many of them things he ate.
Oh, I'm sure that's the easiest
Yeah,
option.
you'd rather go with that, boys?
What, in one go or in his
so I
entire
just,
lifetime?
in a whole entire lifetime. So it's
Right,
up to
okay.
you guys
No,
whether
mate.
you want to guess exactly
All right.
what he's eaten,
Let's have a go at
or
some of the
I'll
weird...
tell you what he's eaten and then you tell me how many of them.
Didn't
he's
he eat an aeroplane before? What was the
let's-
last thing he
Let's
ate?
have a guess at some of the weird shit he's eating then. Light bulbs.
No, he has starters. It's a mere hors d'oeuvre.
That's not bad. That's not bad. But I think
Knives.
no. I think what I'm going to have to do on this one, I'm going to have to tell you. So then you're going to have to guess. So since 1966, he has eaten beep bicycles. How many bicycles
How
has
many
he
bicycles?
eaten? Like quick fire ones on this one,
So
boys.
there's 9 million bicycles in Beijing. He would have eaten what? 1% that. Seven bicycles.
What are you saying, Phil?
12.
18 bicycles. So.
18 bicycles. Who eats 18 bicycles?
All right, so Phil gets
Surely
the
after
point with
one,
that.
you
This
just
is
think
it's going to be
boring.
coming. All right, how many supermarket trolleys did he eat?
Don't just speed us up with that.
They're a bit
nonsense.
harder to come by. 14.
Nah, you pay £1, you get one for ages, wouldn't you? It's a very cheap meal. Yeah, maybe 10 supermarket trolleys.
15.
Shut
he's on
up.
fire.
The guys. He knows his
You
weird
can
stuff.
still
as
come
well.
back though, Jim, because there's quite a few of these. Well, how many TV sets did he eat?
32. Straight in, not even thinking now.
13.
We're just guessing numbers.
7.
Shut up. Your numbers have all been going up, so I carried on going up.
How many
This is
chandeliers did he eat?
Or
He can't afford this. He's got a rich
he was
diet,
right with
hasn't he?
glass, though, when you said glass, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, could have gone.
Oh, it's just me, isn't it? Chandeliers,
Chandeliers.
6.
Oh, no, only a couple. 2.
Fucking 6. Fucking hell, Phil. What's that?
Phil, have you read the autobiography and
I think
dietary
you might have.
requirements?
Okay,
of-
right. If you get this one right, I know you've seen my notes. Right, how many beds? has he eaten?
Beds.
Yeah, beds.
Benson's for beds
Benson's
and
for-
hedges. How many beds? Is it me? It is me. isn't it?
Yeah.
Beds. Double bunk beds or doubles or singles? give me some hard
Is it
facts,
including the mattress?
Doesn't
Yeah,
say.
can you imagine
but
that, all those springs and stuff?
I guess you're not. I guess you'd like it, wouldn't it? It'd be like a nice
Yeah.
bit of. filling,
Otherwise, it
wouldn't
would be just be like eating a pasty but with no
Yeah,
filling.
it would be. Yeah, it'd be like disgusting.
Okay, I'm going to say 11 beds.
11 beds, Phil.
5.
Shut your face, Phil.
Two beds. Wow, this is like
This
a
is
landslide.
annihilation.
Right.
How does he live? I mean, how does he go to the toilet now?
He doesn't need to. Does it all in his bed? He shits the bed.
Do you want to?
He shits the bed.
Do you want to know how he died?
Yeah, go on. Run over.
He was
Dysentery.
electrocuted on death row.
He was electrocuted.
No, he just died of natural causes.
Natural causes.
Funny eating the Prime Minister of France's chandelier and bed, isn't it? Counts as treason.
God, it'd light up like a Christmas tree, wouldn't he, if he
imagine,
was
yeah,
like
just a
living
smidge.
electrocuted. Right,
Wow, that
final
was-
one, just for the hell of it.
Oh,
what was
just to really
the
rub,
most?
rub it in?
Yeah,
How bad
could
I've
be.
been.
But what was the most feet and armpits ever sniffed?
Wow.
This is over years.
I'm going to let you take this one first.
This is
Someone
over
else.
years, over 15 years.
What, together? Feet and armpits combined?
So the total number.
Well, I don't know. It's just that's
so
what
you
it
haven't
says.
got a number for armpits.
No,
and a
I
number
haven't got
for-
a
So it's about one person who
one
used to smell
number.
smell someone's feet and armpits.
Yeah.
Over all his lifetime.
over 15 years of
15
had a career
15
out of it.
years.
Got even an
It must
armpit pension. I don't know.
So he must have done
Foot and armpit pension. Final salary.
it. 3,000.
Oh Christ! Massively more than that.
Yeah, probably.
100,000.
Oh, Jim.
Shut up.
It's 5,600. I thought you was going to get it because he was just.
I basically said more, but I thought, screw it.
Wow. Let's tally up
To
the
be fair,
final
over
scores.
15 years, that's not that many.
Yeah, nothing is a thing. You
I've
could
probably
just go,
sniffed
can I
about
smell
that
your
many.
armpits?
Wow.
Yeah.
Final scores.
I've sniffed about 4,000 today.
Oh. Final scores. Jim 2.
No, it wasn't 2. It was
Phil
probably
9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Can I
got
say
hurt.
now? I
It's
don't,
got
like,
hurt,
I
Jim.
don't like the 80s already. I was a lot better in the noughties.
Yeah. Records were
Does it hurt?
easier.
Does it hurt?
Records have tumbled in the 80s. Wow.
That's that one done, man.
Lovely stuff. Always welcome to do a bit of weird records. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You've got to stop sharing your notes with Phil before the
Yeah.
before the record. It's clear he's been into your dressing room, Dale.
I think he has. Yeah, he has.
He's definitely got a snoop on your notes.
Oh, yeah.
He was too good.
There's lots of weird smear marks on my mirror as well.
Yeah, he doesn't sniff armpits. He just likes your notes. He likes to smell your notes.
He's a poo-poo sniffer.
He's a big old.
He nicks my pants.
He's a bad man, is what he is. But he's 1-0 up. Right, I'm coming for your title, Reynolds, next week.
We never get my title back.
There you go.
Oh, and there's the first awful impression of 1980.
Unbelievable smack talk between these two. It's going down.
I'm sorry you had to listen to that. People,
viewers,
it was pretty aggressive.
frightening,
Wasn't it? I'm sorry. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
But until next week. Right, gentlemen, I think it's time to take a little dip into the world of television back in 1980. Just 3 channels
Yep.
at our disposal, but they were playing some good old stuff. What do we remember from the year? Mr. Reynolds.
You like?
Someone give Phil a little nudge, would you?
Magnum PI.
Shut the front door. Start for 10. That is strong.
Oh,
That is good, isn't it?
One of the greatest moustaches.
It was earlier than I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I
mid
would have put
80s
that
or something.
mid-80s or something, yeah.
Yeah, 1980, Magnum PI. It probably only came over to us probably about 82, 83.
Maybe
though,
that's what it
to be
is.
fair.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have got it then, would we?
no.
So was he
wouldn't-
still
yeah.
driving the fancy Ferrari?
Yeah, it was
back then?
Ferrari. Yeah,
It was like the red Ferrari, wasn't it?
yeah. And didn't you have Higgins, the karate expert type?
Or his butler.
Yeah, he did.
Higgins, fetch me another cigar, would you? There's a love.
Yeah, that's,
It does sound a
something
little
like
bit.
that,
Yeah.
And he had his mate who flew the chopper, the helicopter. Tony the chopper.
Tony the Chopper copter.
His mates were Peter Sutcliffe. He used to chop the roast beef before Sutcliffe put it in the Yorkshire
The
pudding.
enormous Yorkshire puddings, yeah. It was a well-rounded programme, now you remember it.
Yeah,
Lots
it was
of the
great.
bit I must have forgotten about that. I don't remember the Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah,
But
no, there was...
You're right, they were definitely
Always ended
there.
on
Come
that.
in.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Don't you remember that time where Tony the Chopper just like played the trick on Magnum PI? He swapped his wheels for Yorkshire puddings.
Oh, that's
And he,
right.
he drove
That was
off,
funny,
and then
wasn't it?
Sutcliffe was like, "Whoa, you rascals! I'm going to get you."
One of those. Oh, those guys.
And
kind
then
of
he got
looks at
arrested
the
for
end.
all those murders.
Yeah, that's it. I remember.
Yeah, joke was on him.
Yeah.
Then roll the credits down, 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 down.
And Magnum PI was the one who caught him.
He was, yeah.
That's what you get for hanging around with a PI. Foolish, really, wasn't it?
He was, yeah.
So that was Magnum.
With the PI.
that was Magnum. What else do we remember?
Well, this was a surprising one.
What, more than Magnum PI walking around with Peter
Pingu.
Sutcliffe?
Really?
Shut up.
Yeah,
That is
Pingu started
surprising.
in 1980 and finished
Sorry.
in 2006.
With special
Sorry,
effects
Pingu.
like that.
Pingu, yeah.
Surely
that's
they didn't
like
have special effects like that back
Yeah,
then.
that.
I don't know if it was more
Beak,
cartoon like than
Well, maybe they turned it into like a
yeah.
stop motion thing.
But yeah, Pingu, 1980 to 2006.
Bloody
26
hell.
years
Wow.
of Pingu.
Weirdly,
Wow,
that's blown my mind more than Magnum PI by quite a distance.
Yeah, well, and even the episode of Peter
Yeah,
Sutcliffe
even the one with the Yorkshire pudding wheels.
yeah,
Yeah, but that has blown my tiny bloody mind.
that's what it did. That's why I had to bring it up. I was like, oh,
Wow.
right.
Yeah, that is quite
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Another one, everyone's favourite safe word, Juliet Bravo.
Oh, yes.
That's exactly what I've got. not that it's my safe word, but it started.
Was
yeah.
she hot, was she?
I don't know.
Okay. That's the end of that.
I don't remember her to be. I don't
No,
know.
not especially. It was like a female police officer, wasn't it? So it was like, yeah,
Juliet, yeah,
addressing the imbalance.
big up the girlies.
Yeah, fighting the patriarchy. Go Juliet. Yeah, I remember that well, actually. It's like that.
I just remember it being on. I don't remember liking it or disliking it.
It was just on in the house, wasn't it? Yeah, there's loads of stuff like that.
All day.
But that's what
The VHS
that's all you remember of stuff in the 80s, wasn't it? No one particularly liked it, but it was all that was on.
Yeah,
because
so
you
like
had
Last of
limited
the Summer
choice.
Wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Don't ever remember laughing at it. Don't remember liking it, but it always seems to be on in the house.
Well, how's this one then? Heidi High started
Yeah,
on
again.
BBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got
It's
it.
like a
another one, isn't
1950s
it?
holiday camp
yeah, that's
comedy
kind of
show.
like-
It's like,
With Sue Pollard.
was there anything really funny in it?
Not
Particularly?
really.
Yeah.
But it was the same setups, the same situations all the time. She's trying to be a blue coat. He's like, oh, it's lovely. But
Yeah,
a yellow coat, was it? What?
Yellow coat
Yeah.
and Ruth Maddox, isn't she?
And all she does is play a glockenspiel or a thing. Hello, campers.
Yeah.
Lady Hay.
Yeah, that's it. And you've
Yeah.
got Ted and... Is it Ted and Jeff? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like perving over everyone, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
The glamorous granny contest.
Yeah,
and the
it's
novelty.
just
like-
It was
just
whoa.
bonkers, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a bit like proper
It was,
creepy.
yeah,
isn't it?
just a bit creepy, wasn't it?
I saw Sue Pollard once in a pub in London, and it was just before a gig, and she was upset, mate. It was so funny. She just swore like a docker. It was just like
She was
just
going
like
for
dropping f-bombs and all that, and it was just like it was
Really?
such a shock because you just think probably like a lot
Yeah,
of people
she's
with
that.
certain fame like to keep sort of like some sort of privacy and stuff.
Yeah.
She didn't
Nah,
give a,
she wouldn't have any
give
of
a
that.
shit. She was like, ah, fucking hell, fucking shite. Yeah.
Because that was when she was in the Happy Mondays. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
she was. She was. She used to regularly share a needle with Mr. Ryder.
Her and Rowetta used to
Oh.
share like vocal performances, didn't they? Yeah. She was good. She was good, man.
Her and Bez.
Oh, other weird stuff. I tell you what, Brucey was big in the 80s, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Play your cards right.
Oh, was it?
Straight
Oh.
in, started this year.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Never off the
some of the
telly.
best catchphrases in TV history, wasn't it?
He was a Happy Jack and all
Happy
that.
Jack,
yeah.
He was
Was,
92. He was 92 then, wasn't he?
He was 158 then.
Did he still use good game? Good game.
He might have done on that one, yeah. It's like
Higher or lower, obviously.
higher or lower standards. But it was that whole, go on, Dollies, do your deal. It's marvellous, isn't it? Oh, I'm a massive pervert.
He was a bit of a creep, wasn't he?
He was a proper creepy dude.
I'll tell you, he was a creep. So today, when I was
Was it
doing
Tom York?
Tom York, what from radio?
He was a creep.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I
He
did
admits
that.
it as well.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah, he wrote it
didn't
down.
know.
It was almost like a confession.
Mate, I didn't twig then. And I was just thinking, what? I thought he was going to drop me some like really sort of
Dropping some sordid tales about Tom
like
York
about
from radio.
smelling Lenny Kravitz's leather trousers. Was it?
He smelt over 5,000 armpits and feet in a 15-year period, by all accounts.
No, I was,
Who was a
I was
creep?
doing some research actually for TV and come up the Dukes of Hazzard. So I was looking at the Dukes of Hazzard,
Right.
And so I looked at the theme tune. It then went on to like it's not called Family Fortunes in America. It's called Family
Feud.
Family Feud.
Yeah.
That's it. And the host from it was. Do you remember the Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
You know the guy who plays Killian, the basically the game show host.
Yeah,
in
yeah. With
Right,
the white
yeah,
hair
yeah,
and that, yeah.
He presents that.
Is he?
Mate, it's just going up to. So it was the Dukes of Hazzard versus the Waltons,
Right.
and he's just going up to every young girl and just kissing them on the lips for about 3 seconds. It was well uneasy. Yeah, it's like proper. Sort of,
That's
yeah.
proper ick.
Not that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was proper creepy. Yeah.
Wowzers.
So,
Well, yeah. Anything the US could do, we had Brucey
Yeah,
to
we had
do
Bruce.
better.
I didn't
so.
realise he was there.
And well, actually, funny, Family Fortunes was a thing.
Family
that started
Fortunes,
as
yeah,
well,
again started.
in 1980.
Who was
It's
the first
amazing.
host of that?
It was Max Bygrave, wasn't it?
That sounds about right,
Was it
yeah.
Max Bygrave, I think it was, wasn't it?
Or,
And then it
or
was,
Leslie
or was it Bob
Grantham,
Monkhouse?
Bob Monkhouse, all that kind of, they all basically looked like the same man in a suit, didn't
yeah,
they?
morphed like in Doctor Who when they morphed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
that's
that.
one,
Just
yeah.
slightly changed their suit.
Yeah, that's
the cut of
And
the
then they went a bit
trouser.
wacky with Les Dennis,
Yeah,
the French
crazy.
fire engine, and they just like
French.
The French fire
you
engine.
know, Les Denis.
Le Denis. Oh, Phil for the win. That is gag of the day so far. I like that. I like that a lot. French fire engine. I like that.
I thought he was losing it. That's funny.
To be honest with you, I didn't know where he was going, but I liked it. I liked it an awful lot. It's remarkable the amount of things that is like still on telly now that sort of long run that
Yeah.
Family Fortunes, because Newsnight started on BBC Two this year. And that's still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's still rocking.
We're like 42, 43 years on. It's
Had another one,
remarkable,
Children in
wasn't it?
Need. It was the
Children
first
in Need.
Children in Need,
Children in
apparently.
Need, first one.
Yeah,
Exactly that.
I can raise you a watchdog.
Watchdog
Was it?
as well, yeah.
I can raise you Metal Mickey.
Oh, is that still on today?
Oh, I don't think
No,
so.
but-
Someone did
No,
read the
it's a
brief.
great one.
Order.
Can you tell me anything about it though? Because I loved it too, but I can't
no, I
remember a
can't
fucking
remember, no.
thing about it.
Just a
No, I just remember
metal
a
robot
robot
called
and loads of
Mickey,
kids around it,
Yeah.
actually hanging around a robot in a diner, wasn't it? And like
something like that.
a bit like what Jim will fix it.
Oh, no one.
But he was a robot.
So that's him, right? Yeah. That's
That-
that same sort of thing. Do you remember Button Moon?
Button Moon did
That
that.
started this year.
Really? I
But
love Button
Moon.
that is like proper shit.
Yeah, it was really shit.
It was
yeah,
a milk bottle.
But great
wasn't it?
theme
Or a-
tune, though.
bottle.
or-
Yeah,
fairy liquid bottle, 2 spoons and buttons, and that was basically
But
it.
it was the
That's it,
theme
yeah.
tune that sold it, wasn't it?
Oh, of course. Can you sing it now?
Yeah. We're off to Button Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Mr. Spoon, Button Moon.
Button Moon.
That was all you needed, wasn't
Yeah,
it? It was great.
we'll be back soon.
It sold it.
need a remix of that. I think that needs an injection.
Well, maybe that and some beatboxing. We've
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
number 1 single.
yeah, we should beatbox.
We'll work that one out after the episode's recorded. What else can we remember from this year? I've got one more, which
Go
I think
hit
I
me.
feel
Go on, I
like
haven't got any more. I think I'm done.
Russ Abbott's Madhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Wallop. How's that? I mean, speaking of, was Les Dennis in that? Was he?
I
part
think
of
he was, wasn't he?
the crew, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Bella
was,
Remberg and
Better.
all of those lot. Just mental.
That was so
wasn't it?
bad when you think about it now. She was just like
was just a larger lady,
large
wasn't she?
lady
Yeah.
who was just embarrassing herself because of her weight.
Yeah.
That was the gag, wasn't it?
That was the long running.
Well, it's like Benny Hill, which was I think in this
I bet
year
it
as
must be
well.
close to that, yeah.
He was just slapping a bald man around the blooming chasing
and chasing half naked women around. Yeah, it's a hell of a gig for Benny, wasn't it?
It was a very bizarre.
He was a very happy man for most of his working life.
You guys said about Phil said about obviously Pingu, and he's plasticine, isn't he? Another plasticine legend was the
We mentioned
amazing
Bruce Forsyth.
adventures of the amazing adventures of Morph.
Yeah.
Was Morph this year?
Yeah, man.
And now, see, I remember Morph.
I have so
from,
much
like-
time for Morph.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of time. And his little mate,
Yeah,
Chaz.
Chaz. Yeah.
He was a naughty
Live-
boy, wasn't he, old Chaz? The absolute antics.
Living in a pencil case as well. Yeah.
It's great, wasn't it?
I used to find it a little bit creepy with Tony Hart. Like, did anything come out about him?
Wasn't the... I don't know if... I mean, this won't be true, so just to
okay.
caveat that now. But wasn't the rumour that went around our school that Tony Hart lived with Andy Peters? Do you not remember?
In a massive pencil case.
Yeah, do you not remember that? Oh, God.
In the
it
broom
used to make me
cupboard.
die. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, literally, the
Oh no, I
age
used
gap
to
between
call
them.
it the groom cupboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
used to get-
lovely.
Just get them in.
But yeah, that's all I remember.
Savile, you finished doing Jim will fix it. I've got another one in.
Got another one. Got a ripe
Yeah,
one.
come on, mate. Oh, mate.
dearie me.
I've got To the Man of Bone, which I've got.
Oh, yeah.
It's like just about a big house, wasn't it? That's what I remember.
Yeah, it's a bit of a class thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was, what's the name out? The Good Life, wasn't it? Wasn't it her?
Penelope.
Keith. Yeah.
No, the other one. Who's the neighbour? Not Penelope. Wasn't it the?
Yeah, so that is Penelope Keith.
Oh, is it?
She
Why
doesn't
do I
play
think
the. She
Penelope
doesn't
Keith
play
was-
the.
You're
She played the
thinking
posh
of
one.
Penelope Pitstop from Wacky
She
Racer.
plays the Richards wife then in.
Not Prunella Scales. She's in Fawlty Towers. It's the other one.
Felicity Kendall.
Yeah.
Felicity
That's it,
Kendall,
yeah.
Rear of the Year, probably in 1980.
Yeah, I bet she is, yeah. Well, now she's in her 80s and her
Still very much.
rear's out of gear.
I'm going to look up who won Rear of the Year in.
Oh, excellent. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you about Yes Minister.
Oh,
That
yes.
started on
Yeah, that was
BBC
good. I
Two.
like that.
And I'm
I
assuming...
didn't
obviously-
understand it back then, but I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a lot of like
It was on in the
sarcasm
household,
about,
it was one of
about
them.
politics, wasn't it? Which is very much rife for taking the piss out of
Yeah.
still today.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I
Gee
was spitting
whiz.
image must have been not too far off.
I reckon so. It must have been, wasn't it? Yeah. The only other one that I actually had on my list was Different Strokes,
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, I missed that off, actually.
which I used to really like. I mean, again, it's the theme tune, basically.
Theme tune,
makes
great.
or breaks, as we've said many times on this podcast.
Yeah,
but
100%. They were the 80s theme shoots. Like, they're amazing. I remember wasting a whole evening just going through 80s theme tunes.
Well, I've
some
got the
absolute
Rear of
bangers,
the
yeah.
Year winners here.
You haven't, have you?
I have, but
I feel
but
like this
the
could,
odd
this
the
could
odd
be some weird.
Yeah.
the
I
odd
think so.
thing is
Right.
1976 was Barbara Windsor.
Yeah.
And then there's a 5-year gap.
Oh, really?
1981.
So good.
What? She's
I don't know.
got
It
a
just says
5-year gap in
and then
between her two.
1981 was Felicity Kendall.
Oh, really?
Just a year out without guessing.
91, yeah.
Jim's up with his
We
rear of the
know
year.
our Rear of the Year winners, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know why there's a 5-year gap. Bizarre.
Maybe Babs's butt was.
We're going to have
so
to add this to the
astonishing.
thing. There's loads of them.
I've got,
82, 83. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to add this to the pod.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going
It's
to do.
pod gold.
It's pod gold. It's
We've
pod bloody
we
gold.
fell on pod gold without even knowing.
We've
Rear
announced
of the
an
year,
absolute classic.
added to the agenda.
Odds are. We'll note that down. Miss Parsonson, could you note that down? That's
I've got Dukes of Hazzard down here, but I'm not too sure if it started a little bit before, but it was definitely in 1980, and the EastEnders come up as well. So I don't
No,
No,
EastEnders
it's
It was
like
later.
85. I think.
85 or
Yeah.
86, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But Dukes of Hazzard. Was
Maybe someone's
amazing.
having the idea for EastEnders.
Mate.
That's what it was. Well, especially after Babs winning Rear of the Year 5 years running.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Outstanding work, Miss Windsor. Outstanding. Well done. Any other TV gold news or other format points that will come back to haunt us later down the line?
no, I'm sure.
Excellent. Well, let's move from the little screen to the big screen. Talk of film. And can I say, I was a little bit trepidatious about the 80s. I was like, I won't be able to find films I like.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there's
Was
loads,
I
wasn't there?
wrong?
I told you 1980 was
It's
a good year.
ridiculously good. It's a strong start to the decade.
But it's a bizarre one, isn't it? Because there's either really good films or
Yeah.
really shit horror films.
Well, that never really
And then-
featured in my looking anyway. I don't like them.
No, but when I was
Certainly
just
didn't like them
looking,
when I was
they're
two.
either really good or
Yeah.
just like B-movie kind of.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what
there's
you
a
mean.
lot
It's
of
like-
that, yeah.
There's a couple with in between,
Living
but
Dead-y
not
type
like
stuff
just
and all that,
average
yeah.
films. It was bizarre.
But there's some absolute
And
bangers
I still
out
haven't
there.
picked my top three.
I'm excited.
I'm still.
Well, now we normally start with you, Phil.
Yeah, maybe give me a bit of time because
Are we going to have to buy you some time?
I need a little time.
Well, in that case, Mr. Dello, would you like to take us through your top three
Yeah,
films
I
of
didn't
the
really
year?
struggle with this. Normally there's the odd outsiders. But I'm going to hit you straight away with number 3.
Yes, I'm
It's
ready.
probably my favourite horror film of all time. If it's classed as a horror, which I think it is, it's The Shining. Yeah, I just love this. Stanley
I
Kubrick
assume this was
at
very
his
much going to be
best.
on your list.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's psycho. Jack Nicholson and Kubrick at their best.
Yeah.
It's just the way he goes from like this family man looking to sort of like a better sort of start for his family or whatever. He's just trying to make some money while they're obviously being a caretaker, and just the way he gets possessed by this thing. And it's just the way it all intertwines, and some of the freakiness in there, like the kids,
the
twins.
twin girls and stuff. Yeah,
going
it's
up
all
there.
a bit on the little pedal.
And I love his little banter he has with like the butler, the English butler, and there's loads of different things. And I'm not a massive horror person, but I don't see this as
psychological.
It's more
horror.
psychological.
Yeah, it's more psychological.
I don't
and I
like
think-
horror any way, shape, or form, but I've seen The Shining.
Shining,
I do
you
like
like
it,
the
yeah.
Shining? Yeah, so mate, that's a massive tick box for me. Number
Great
2
choice.
is love this film, my silliest film like going. It's Airplane. It could have been number 1, but I couldn't not leave my number 1 off. But it's Airplane, obviously funny, silly, great gags, one-liners, still holds up today. Anything from Lloyd Bridges sniffing glue to Otto, the co-pilot being sucked off by Julie Hegarty,
yeah.
the heart transplant being knocked out in the song, and it's
Yeah.
anything from that to the jive guys with the old lady talking jive, the fight kicking off with the Bee Gees, the Girl Scout. Oh, there's so many things. I won't go on it too.
Well,
'cause I'm guessing
I've got it in my list as well, but it seems silly to not talk about while we're here, but
Yeah, go
it's
on.
just insanity, isn't it? It's just the young boy in the cockpit.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever been in a Turkish prison, Joey? It's like, what? You like films about gladiators, Joey?
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
It's just so many things. The fact that you got Kareem
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar
Abdul-Jabbar.
as one of the co-pilots
So
in
good,
there,
yeah.
and he's like,
Oh, mate.
"You're definitely Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, aren't you?" Listen,
Yeah,
kid,
yeah, yeah.
I'm busting my hump for. Yeah.
I'm busting
he
my
just
bum.
loses his absolute pieces.
Yeah, he's going, my dad says you're too lazy or something like that. Yeah.
I tell you the one it is that I like more than any of them. It's the young I think they may be maybe 7 or 8. There's a young girl and a young boy, and they're done up like an older couple. So he walks past her. He's all got the suit, the blazer, the tie.
She fancies him, she was saying.
And it's like, he goes, I thought you might like some coffee. Yeah. Number one, they're too young to be drinking.
Yeah.
So he sits down and he's like, do you like cream? He said, I take my coffee like I take my men. Black.
Strong and black.
She's 7 years old. It's insanity.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, mate. It was the same with that girl as well, where she's where they think they're going to crash, and she's going, I don't think we're going to make it. And I've never been with a man before. And then suddenly she moves on to everyone, and at one stage she's saying it to a donkey.
It's so many stupid bits.
Do you know how many jokes there are per minute?
Oh, it's one of those record holder type
2.6 jokes per minute. I mean, how do you write
a
film like that where you can not just... You'd think that would just be, they're going to run out of steam after a while, but they don't. It's a whole...
Like, even though, like, the voiceovers when they're in the airport, and it's like they're bickering about what zone they're going to land
it's just the back. It's the commitment to the
white
jokes.
zone is for unloading.
Extraordinary.
No, screw you, Ken.
They start talking about having an abortion, don't they?
You never made me come.
And like, he gets the ticket smoking, and he's like, the ticket's on fire.
So many.
There's a joke where isn't it the captain's getting ready in front of a mirror or something, and it's not a mirror or something.
Right. Yeah, so he does his tie up and he walks away, and the guy's still in the mirror, isn't it? So it's just relentless.
Or the one with the painting
Captain
when he's in hospital. He's in hospital and he's painting. There's a guy with a baby in his
on one leg, and it with his leg behind his. Can I go down?
Recounting his time in like the army and stuff, and he's boring the guys he's sitting next on the plane who's about to set himself alight.
And then we haven't even mentioned Leslie Nielsen, who steals the show.
He was a straight actor.
Yeah, he was, wasn't
he? He just steals the show.
Yeah, he was rocking up in films like Viva Knievel as the bad guy, like genuine straight roles. And it was like
so good.
Well, that's why they got him, because I think that there was a film called Airport something about 6 or 7 years earlier, and it was a straight disaster film about this, and that's
he acts it that way as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and they based it on this. I think it's pretty much the story is exactly the same as this, and that's what they kind of got the idea from. But they wanted to be a straight actor playing the part.
So was this before Police Squad?
Yeah, just before Police Squad would have been just like a year or two after.
This takes him down a very different route, essentially, doesn't it?
He's genius, because he just makes me laugh. He's so much.
Yeah, there's a choice between chicken or fish. I remember I had the lasagna. It's so nice, stupid lines going.
The way he delivers them, though. I don't think anyone has ever beat him at doing that.
No.
You get loads like Charlie Sheen tries in Hot Shots, and they're funny, but just nothing like what Leslie Nielsen was. He was
mate.
You have to get these people to a hospital. A hospital? What is it?
It's not important, right?
Big building with patients. It's so stupid, but I love it.
Even that Johnny guy is like the hyperactive guy, and is Johnny, can you do something with this? He's going, hey, can we get into a plane?
And then Lloyd Bridges, isn't it? It's the wrong week to give up sniffing glue or something like that.
They're coming right at us. Let's get me some lights on that runway, and they just go and dump a load of
himself out
lamps and stuff all over it.
So many. So that was my number.
It's a great shout out.
Cheers, man. That was my number 2, but my number 1.
I wonder if we can guess.
It is The Empire Strikes Back.
Of course it is.
In my opinion, it's one of the best sequels ever, if not the best sequel
it regularly
ever.
Gets voted, doesn't it? As that, so.
Yeah, it's just exciting from start to finish. I love the darkness.
Yeah, it's a lot darker, a lot more mature, isn't it, than the first one?
Yeah,
and obviously the following.
It's the whole it's the second act thing. The way, but it's done it as a second film. You put your heroes into the darkest potential place ever, and then see how they sort of come out of it, and then it looks like they won't get out of it, and then in the final scene, you just obviously they do. But yeah, it just created some of like the best sort of side characters to come out of this. Even when you first meet Yoda, essentially he's just like an annoying petulant kid. He was like, "Oh, can I get my?" Like he's like hitting R2D2 about having an argument over a light, and it's like, and then he turns out to be this almighty, the Jedi Master, who actually, like the advice he gives out in this film is, if you truly listen to it,
that one? Try.
It is gold, yeah. It is so bang on.
Don't try, do.
Yeah, do or do not. There is no try, and everything he says is bang on. Like when he's in the zone, when he's training Yoda, it is like you could see why it's based on like an Eastern philosophy, a Chinese Indian philosophy type, like guru type thing. But yeah, it's just amazing, and it's Is going, I can't remember what he says to Luke when he tries to get out of the X-Wing out.
Raise the plane up out of the swamp.
Fucking do it, Luke.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Sorry, can we just have another bit of Yoda there?
He did, mate.
Fucking do it, Luke.
I remember that line.
Oh, mate, go.
That he really was deep and Eastern. Wasn't he?
It was deep and
Do
Eastern.
it, Luke. You prick.
Just like that. And also, it created Boba Fett, one of the coolest sort of bad guys ever to come out of any sort of thing. And like as a bounty hunter, it was just perfect. And like how
many words does he say in the entire? Isn't he like 30 or something?
Probably
he doesn't say
silly.
an awful lot.
I don't know if he does.
He doesn't say many across the entire like series and stuff. I don't think he says many words at all, does he?
I think in like Return of the Jedi, just says like I'll get him or something like that. I think it's
very, very few.
It's like 3 words or something.
Yeah,
like that. It's not much at all.
But he made such a great. Like, all the kids wanted that.
He was the figure, wasn't he? He was the figure
He
everyone wanted to get. Yeah,
he was the figure. They actually did a figure that it's worth thousands of pounds now. It was
the only one that shoots out the little rocket.
Yeah. They had to recall it for safety reasons, but if you get hold of them, they're like worth thousands.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he was cool. All the other bounty hunters, it was just a cool feel to it. Lando was cool. It was just a cool I can watch this every time it's on, and it seems timeless. Absolutely, the special effects for the time are absolutely amazing. I don't think people realise how amazing they were, and even some of the things I watched the other day on Disney. There's the deleted scenes,
right?
And some of the ones, they're hilarious. You have to watch them, like mainly for the Star Wars, but Empire Strikes Back, they do a couple of scenes with the Hoth monster. It's so ridiculous. I'm so glad they cut it out because they could have absolutely ruined the film.
A little fluffy suit.
Oh, mate. But they're hilarious. If you ever got a chance, watch all the Star Wars films on Disney Plus and then go to deleted scenes. It is hilarious. Like, mainly the Star Wars one. With Greedo, you know the scene where Han Solo shoots Greedo?
Yeah, well, in the canteen.
They do it, they show it, but they don't put over the voiceover of an alien. So they don't put the voiceover of the alien. And his guy comes up to us, going somewhere Solo. It's really camp.
Isn't it the same when they use David Prowse?
Yeah, with his Bristolian accent. It's
right, you dirty bugger.
But they still do it all the way through all 3 films.
Yeah, it's only just dub them over.
Mate. There's a couple of deleted films. That would have been a
very, very different film, wouldn't it?
Oh, big time. But I could talk about Empire Strikes Back all day, but yes, that's my number one easily.
It's a very good 3. Mr. Reynolds, have we bought you sufficient time?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I tell you what, only because mine sort of have a lot of carryover with Mr. D's, I'll just quickly
So do mine, actually. I think we all do.
So I didn't go for Strikes Back as my number 1. I went for that as my number 2. Mm-hmm. I went for Airplane as my number 1. Only because it's like an hour and a half and it's just perfect time. I'll always watch that, whereas I kind of have to be in the right mood for Star Wars. I think that's the only difference. But my number 3 was Stir Crazy.
Oh wow!
I do
like.
Gene,
I thought you might go there. I wasn't so sure if you go Blues Brothers.
I was pondering it. So I mean, there was a lot of that sort of thing. There was a lot that I didn't put in. So The Shining, I've made a point of kind of referencing, and then I'll come back to honourable mentions in a bit. But Stir Crazy was one of those ones that I just instantly kind of went, "Oh, this is really funny," and I was like, "Yeah, this is good." And then it sort of. See No Evil, Hear No Evil later in the decade is kind of that same duo.
Have they got a trilogy of their films?
They did Silver Streak.
Silver Streak, yeah.
And that was late 70s, but I hadn't seen that one. This was my first kind of foray into them. I was like, this is really good. I mean, a lot of it is a bit touch and go now, but everything kind of comes with that caveat, I think, in this decade.
Don't they, like at the beginning bit where they put the weeds, don't they, in the...
They get the entire,
he empties his pot, doesn't he?
One of the cooks empties his stash of 65 weeds into the soup, and they
into the soup. That's right.
All of the people that they're working for stoned off their minds. It's just like it starts quite strong, but it was directed by Sidney Poitier, which I didn't know.
Really?
I was like,
bizarre, isn't it?
It's like him doing this because it's an out and out comedy film for the first maybe hour, and then it goes into a prison escape kind of thing, like a heisty breakout.
I think that one's the best
breakout.
one out of the lot of them, isn't it? If I remember, from what I remember, I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hold
really,
See No
really
Evil,
like
Hear
it.
No Evil. It's close to my heart because I just remember it growing up as a kid watching it.
Yeah, I've watched that recently.
It was kind of
it starts
harmless.
funny.
Yeah.
And the gag, there's not as many gags as I
Yeah,
remember.
no, I know what
There's
you
some
mean.
really
It's
funny
dated.
bits in it, but
Yeah,
it's about the
dated.
first 20 minutes and then it just drifts off a little
drifts
bit.
a little bit. Whereas this is really strong for, like I say, the first hour, sort of 70% of the film, and then
Yeah.
they have to go a little bit at the jeopardy of will they break out, won't they break out? So the gags stop. But it's just like they're two guys from New York that are basically sent down for they go to California to try and make their fortune. They get accused of robbing a bank incorrectly, get put in prison, and it's one where they've got like a rodeo desire, so it's a Midwest prison they put into.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you know, when Pryor goes kind of doolally, and he's quite good at doing that thing. It's just like 125 years. I'm going to be 161 when I get out. And he's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
love-
it's just really silly stuff. But yeah, you've got the usual stuff in there. So you've got sort of a bent governor trying to make money off of the prisoners themselves and their unpleasant conditions. You've got homicidal lunatics. You've got a massive guy that they just poke fun at who turns out to be an absolute sweetheart. You've got the psychopathic killers. You've got an obviously gay character in there who's just sort of thrown in there for comedy purposes.
Right, okay.
So there's a few bits that don't quite work these days, but
It's still...
it's the comedy's like between the streetwise guy and the one who's a bit of a dreamer, and their dawning realisation that it's going to go to shit, so they have to get out.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh.
No, I'll have to rewatch it again.
It's a good film.
I haven't seen it for years.
It's a good film. But that was my three, and then 2 and 1 are basically the same as Richard D's.
I think we're all pretty similar.
So let's assume-
I didn't know if one was going to break into the top 3. So it's an honourable mention. There's a couple actually, but yeah, I'm in an R in Raging Bull whether that was going to get in there.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah.
I didn't show up on mine.
Yeah.
Really? I love
but
it.
I haven't seen it for a few years, and I think although it's great, it's probably a hard watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for that reason, I probably just left it out. But 3, I'm going to go to Shining as well. Yeah, I didn't know for that to go higher, but yeah, it's a great horror film, and that, isn't it? But it's because like I say, horror's not my genre. So out of the 2, that'll probably just be B. It's great. It's Kubrick and everything about it. It's brilliant, great shots and everything, isn't it? So
Yeah, absolutely.
great films. That's 3. I went number 2. I've done Empire Strikes Back. Love it as well, but just a bit. Star Wars is too much of it at the moment. I think it's right here, right now.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, see,
A
that's
bit
the
bored
only.
of it all.
That's the only film I can watch. Well, actually, the original. I still can stay true to the original.
Oh, I love them and that, but
Well, I
I don't know. I
can't-
think that's the only reason. It's probably just not made one. I think that's what based it on. If you put Airplane and Empire Strikes on now and said, what one would you watch? I'll go Airplane.
Yeah.
Because I just want to laugh. I'd be like, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
laugh.
No,
in a
fair
minute.
enough.
So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's why Airplane would pivot.
Just
So yeah, I'm
pivot.
going Shining, Empire Strikes Back, and then Airplane.
Touche.
So we're all similar
Yeah,
in
big
what
time.
we've got.
Yeah,
haven't
not
we?
far off.
It's
is
not
it?
a bad start to it, but there were some absolute bangers out there that didn't make it. So we've mentioned The Shining, mentioned Raging Bull. You mentioned very briefly, Dale, the Blues Brothers, which was definitely a
Yeah,
consideration.
I did give it some thought as well because it's a great film.
It's great, a really good film. I also looked at Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
which I really like. It's just a very silly,
It's silly, but
silly
it's
film,
great.
but it's actually half decent. You're like, oh, actually, it's quite good.
Well, I don't know. I like it for all sorts of reasons. As a movie,
It's the nostalgia.
It's a bank holiday film, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's exactly what it is.
Easter, innit? It's like an Easter
bank
film.
holiday film. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
ridiculous. Even Timothy Dalton with his moustache and just like
Yeah.
all that sort of
And
stuff.
the whole Brian Blessed.
Yeah,
Sorry. I thought that was Yoda. Hang on. Which one are you doing now?
No,
Sorry.
I went back to Yoda. Yeah.
Okay, so do me a
yeah.
Brian Blessed. Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive.
That's one of the best you've done. I mean, it started,
Yeah, it's not too bad, yeah.
started strong with Yoda. It's lovely.
I was warming up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good warm up. Yoda to Brian Blessed. Actually.
It's a hell of a leap, isn't it? But I looked at Caddyshack as well.
Caddyshack, I love Caddyshack.
My
Yeah,
list.
I've got that as well.
Elephant Man.
Elephant Man, yeah. Not as good as Elephant Man 2.
Return of the.
Trunk call.
Drunk and full of spunk.
That was the full title. I forgot about the brackets. They always use that.
That
don't
was,
they?
yeah. I don't- No, it's a great film. It's so sad. It's quite. I remember watching it and I was like thinking, why is this in black and white? And then at the end of it, I was like, no, this is like perfect to be in black and white.
Absolutely, yeah, colour.
It's like, it would have been,
yeah.
Sort of this brave move though at that time going into black and white. I'll tell you what I've got in here, and I do like this out of nostalgia because the first two films I just love for that the time and childhood and stuff are the Superman 2.
I've got this 3 with Pryor.
No, Superman 2 is the one with General
Three's with Pryor,
Zod.
Three's with Pryor.
General Zod, there's the 3 that come back.
Yeah, it's a great one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just easy watchable. It's just I like Christopher Reeve as
I used to fancy
Superman.
the woman in that.
What the evil 3?
Yeah.
The evil
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, it's about costume.
No, fair enough.
You like a girl in a
black.
sequin black jumpsuit.
I think it was
Yeah.
trapped in an everlasting mirror or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite specific fetish I have.
I used to feel the same about Terence Stamp as General Zod.
Yeah.
Neil Giselle.
Yeah, he's good though. Superman 2, that is good.
Zod.
Get another bank holiday. These are all bank holidays.
They are, aren't they? Yeah.
Airplane's always on a bank holiday.
Always. I'll tell you what, I had Fame down there as well.
Yeah,
this
Fame's
year,
good fun.
obviously.
Friday the 13th as well. Talking
Very
about the old
similar.
B movies.
Yeah,
there.
very
Awful Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I tell you, I came late to this film, but it's really good fun actually. 9 to 5. I really like.
I've written that down as well.
Yeah, I really
nice.
like 9 to 5.
And Private Benjamin as well.
Yes.
Yeah, which I really like.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn. Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's earlier than I thought. I thought that was
Yeah.
getting mid to late 80s, actually, Private Benjamin.
I think it's more hope from our point of view, isn't it?
Well, I think that's we
it can't
probably
be that old, can it?
Yeah, that's what. Well, I think
we're
we probably watched it around that time.
Yes,
we
exactly.
associate it
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
that.
that's
I'm
what it'll
guessing.
be.
Obviously, we'd have probably seen it when it was about
Yeah.
10 or so.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
I
4,
think we
5, 6
associate
years
it.
after it.
The video man's been round, and we're just like,
What's he done?
he's
Jesus. I hope not. Oh, he's left some videos, right?
left some videos.
Any more for any more?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Not
No,
a
I
bad
think that's
start,
it,
though,
mate.
to the year, was it? To the decade, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. One last one.
Oh, here we go. Strap in.
Any which way you, any which
it
way you
was, wasn't
can.
it?
with-
The follow-up to Every Which Way
I
But Loose.
just
Yeah.
found it quite fun. Like with saying to do Clint Eastwood and a orangutan.
Yeah,
Called
Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I thought you were building up for a comedy film title. There.
No.
No need when you
Oh,
got
the
Elephant
Fog.
Man
Did we
2.
say the Fog? Was that?
No, yeah,
don't
I had the
think we
fog
do.
down, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Carpenter's, yeah.
What, the guy that did the vampire stuff?
Halloween
John
and
Carpenter?
stuff. And
Yeah, did Halloween and what was the other one did? On the Alien.
Rainy
The
Days
Thing.
and Mondays.
The Thing. Did the Thing as well, didn't it?
Very specific. The Fog, the Thing,
Thing. Yeah.
the Radiator. He did all sorts of stuff. Didn't he? big films.
The Yorkshire pudding.
Woo! And that is a perfect edit point to finish.
That's a
finish
great
films.
sneeze.
Every time we want to finish a segment, we're going to get you to do that now, Phil.
Yes.
We have to buy in a lot of white pepper just to have that. Nice, lovely little roundup.
Hi Blankers, as promised, this is me interrupting part 1 of the 1980 episode. As I mentioned, it's quite a lengthy one, so we've decided to split it into 2 parts. Thanks for listening, I hope you enjoyed it. If you can report back next week, and we'll have part 2 out for the 1980 episode. In the meantime, take care Blankers, bye.